All right. So as you can see from the title, I have been kind of torn between this one, the Gemma tree, Flame Core, and thea tree with the sparkle. Because I've been going back and forth looking to see if I can first I can turn my mind control thea tree into sparkle. But then I was thinking, oh, I need to change too many things, and it's like kind of expensive compared to the zero FE that I had at the time, and I still have at the time. So instead, when I made a new character, I obviously made this one, and then like it got to point very quickly when it was obviously a lot tankier compared to the other thing. Just even if you just purely look at this part, right? Converts physical damage taken to fire damage. So obviously that's a big thing. Just here, if you just only look at this one trait, but overall there's also this one other thing here, because it's like you have domain expansion, weapon amplification, and then deep pain. But aside from these three, it's like I'm looking for like 50% auras, which is like obviously 55 with like after stuff added. But anyway, I don't have I don't think I have, or I don't think there is a fourth aura that can like really deal with it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe spell amplification could work. Now that I think about it, potentially. I don't know if that's like damage for spell skills. Interesting, because like spell damage, but damage for spell skills. But let's see if the core is a spell. Yeah, I mean, it is. So I guess if I want more damage, I can grab spell amplification. Let me check it a little bit. But for now, just for a bit, I used the elemental res aura for a little bit, just so I can cap it quick. Not much has changed, but like let's see, with this one I would be capped if I'm not using this, but then I need a base that has Scorch on hit, which is, I don't know, 2000, 3000 FE, something like that, and then you still have to craft on it. So that's out. Here, I used one dream on it. It gave the physical damage to cold damage, but it probably doesn't really do anything, considering that it's like all just physical to fire. So I don't know if it does anything extra, or if it adds any additional damage. Probably not. But then removing it is again would be 30 FE. And if I wanna make another one, it's just 30 FE each, which is obviously not a lot, especially this late into the league. But if you have nothing, then everything is a lot. Basically, ones are the same. I think I like upgraded this one to the one here. And this one's kind of awkward because I would do fire scale, but I can't do fire scale when it has the reaping duration on it. And then if see, these are both advanced, and if I wanna do advanced over here, I can't, because these two are advanced mods. So then I would have to remove the reaping duration. That would be kind of awkward if it's already tier 1. So yeah, these are basically the same. Grab this one. In the meantime, I guess it also gives the frost shield on hit. So it's like another defensive layer. I have almost 10k ES here as well. And then this one I got this one. It's a mineral, so it's not the best, but it's better than nothing. Would have been nice if it was a 5% roll. Oh well. And these are basically all the same. You got some slates over here. I got this one. I think this one was like 100. I think I got it for more. This one's probably kind of cheap. It's a 30. This one I had on the other one. This one, I don't know if it even makes any sense. Yeah, it's probably nothing. I should probably get the other thing from... I could either get another corner, or I could grab the other one from the tier 3. Obviously, this one is also not great. I haven't upgraded these just yet. But yeah, and that's just where I'm at. Damage, I'm not sure how it ramps properly, because if you look at the blessings up here, right, you have the trigger candle, but it's like if it triggers, right, it's like I want to pump up the blessings, but then if I'm staying in one place, it doesn't really trigger as much, right? Because see, it dropped off. So like if there is no sentry in 10 meters from me, then it attempts to trigger the skill, right? So it's like I kind of need to move out of the range and then back of the range. I don't know. It's just somehow I never get to a build where I can just stand there and just sit. Because like here, the blessings are just gonna fall off. I don't trigger skills nearly as much. Although I guess this kind of counts as a trigger, maybe. Not sure. Like there's like some blessings that come in here, just not nearly as much. I don't know how the DPS works, to be honest, because it's like drops like 30 something and then it drops down and then it goes up. And then sometimes when I run away and I come back without dropping the dummy, because if I run too far, I drop the dummy. And then like DPS goes back up. And then here, like we said, because so far I don't think that defense is my problem and damage is my problem. So like maybe if spell amplification works properly, then damage should go up. Let's just go away and go back. May or may not work, I'm not sure. I mean, it should work because it's spell damage, it's spell skill, so it should work, but I don't know. Damage is just all over the place. But anyway, so let's not worry about this part. You see the damage is not anything spectacular either way. Enough for tier 8, but not quite enough for profound. So that makes me still lower DPS than my mind control. And my issue is basically is that I want to look here, right? Like aside from this one, like we're going back to copying obviously, but aside from this one, like I have the uniques, but obviously those corrosions are missing. And then, you know, curse on hit here, bunch of tier 0s, curse on hit here, full tier 0s, another ring with full tier 0s, 2 wands with full tier 0s, helmet with full tier 0s, has the implicit, so you can solve the erosion damage and convert it into cold, all of that. And I would have to remake my memories, or I would have to reroll the bonds that I already had, like the mods here, into the spell crit, fire crit, that kind of stuff. And obviously I don't have mods. So the point that I've arrived at again is that I don't really know what is like the reasonable next upgrade that is like worth it, comparatively speaking. This one's defensive, again, damage, right? So like if I get with damage, if I get to the point, I'm also missing the shackles setup, like I said earlier. But if I am missing, yeah, like if I'm missing very important parts of the build, like I'm not sure how, you know, like these I'm not gonna have. Let's say that I don't, because aside from that, I don't really find anyone here. Maybe I could go to the different server, America or Asia, and then level a character there until I get the hero ranking unlocked, and then maybe I see something there. But even the hero ranking is not that great. Like you would probably much rather either go with the showdown and you see the rankings here, and then you check here, because like you know that these are. I mean, you will know that if someone like either private or they strip the character, then you're gonna know. Like see for example here, like you're gonna know like this, it did not beat it without slates or items. So obviously that's not something that you should copy, but like the full builds here, you can reasonably know that they have accomplished the ranking that they have here, or like the Supreme Showdown, or you go to the pro builds. But the issue is, see, like go here, there's like Einhajar, or I don't know how you exactly pronounce it. There's this one, but this one is bow, so obviously that's like a whole different direction. That means that I can't really use anything from the tier 3, which means that I am starting even more from 0 as I would previously do. So obviously that's not great. This one is, yeah, also a jar, and there's like a flame focus, but that's like supposedly better on yoga too, I think. So yeah, that's another thing, and obviously items are different, although maybe not that expensive, right? Like it's like some quite cheap pieces. Like at this point, the Dawnbreak is super cheap. This piece is even this is quite cheap, all things considered. And the Hecate is probably, yeah. It's like, so yeah, if I look at it, this should be like a pretty reasonable thing. But if I want to do flame focus, then I probably should go and play yoga instead. So maybe that's something that you can look into, or I can look into. But my point is that if I look at scale and if I want to stick to flame core, I don't really have any like good examples. Like I go through here, like all I'm seeing is the end game, like basically the same one that we've looked at on the ranking for Supreme Showdown, which is just basically the same character anyway. Or you have all these ASD, the rolled on the keyboard sort of situations, and then I don't really know what this is, capable of doing, or what this is. Like, I don't know what damage this is doing, for example. Right? I don't know if like the triple blur is probably, yeah, it's pretty expensive. I mean, obviously you would scale the blur, like that's the idea anyway. So yeah, it's like this is like the reasonable variant. It's like closer to achievable in my position, but the problem is that I don't really know what budget gets you to what DPS. So I'm sitting here and I'm basically at the same point as I was earlier with the mind control. I mean, obviously, if you think about it, even just getting the ring, if I'm actually motivated to get the ring, obviously that few thousand FE is not that terrible. Getting like 3.5 thousand for a four stack or 4 channeled stack ring on the Thea. But I'm basically here again in like the same situation. Like if I want to get better wands, then I'm basically looking for priceless, and that means that I need to get a base. I would probably want a base that has like a decent sequence on it, unless I want to craft it on it later, which is, I guess, acceptable. But yeah, these are basically same here, because if I want tier 0 mods, I'm gonna have to get a priceless base, and that means more crafting, and then that's that. This one upgrade would be corrosions. This one upgrade would be like double corrosion. Same here, it would be like, I don't know, higher roll here, or even a corrosion here, something like that. Same here to get, I guess not same here, but I would have to, craft the higher tier, like ultimate mods and whatnot. And at that point, if I craft for this one, I would probably want a base that has the conversion of the erosion damage. So I would need to do that, and then you would need to do the dream interpretation on it as well. And then obviously that would cost a lot more again, because the weighting is all different. So yeah, so basically after all that, I'm kind of considering going back to the Thea and maybe doing the swap after all. Because if I think about it, this one, I guess Anchor Road is fine. This one I have. This one should not be that expensive if we're looking at uncorroded over there. This one, same here. This one is pretty cheap. If you're looking at like uncorroded, it's super cheap. And then same shit situation here because you just want corruption over scorch. But then again, you know, you need a curse on hit base. Like a few thousand. Probably a different base has a different price. So maybe if I just go remove that, check like that, yes, like 2000-ish. But probably the 2000 has a pretty bad downside as well. So that's another issue. And yeah, like that was basically my pain point. Like getting a priceless with the build sequence is obviously very expensive. But I just got a normal one. That's not priceless. I just high level 86 plus, and then with the build sequence, because as far as I know, like that's mainly what you need to do the build, and then I can kind of reuse the thea stuff, and then I maybe don't have to entirely swap everything back. And yeah, and the free birds 80. I guess I'm missing out the forbidden power, but obviously getting doubles, like again, yeah, super expensive. All things considered, prairie is not even that bad. Like you get it once and then you have it. That's pretty good. And the other pain point would be the wind rhythms, right? Like if you want to run 2, I'm not sure if you can run it with 1, but it's like 1.7. These are quite cheap. You're like fine with the lower ones. For the meantime, I probably am. But running 2 of the sparkles and then having to get 2 wind rhythms, like even if it's the lowest wind rhythm, it's still, I guess it's 250. Maybe that's fine. I don't know. And then all the precises here, but I guess that can be skipped for later. And the projectile quantity stuff is also not that expensive. Although I could consider getting the Omen Pact Spirit, because we still have a box. I'm not sure if it's worth it. I could have picked it the last time we got a box, but I ended up picking, I think, Abyssal King the last time. But I also have the candle that gives additional curse, so maybe I can run that. But then again, I might not even need to run that because I don't have the 2 curse on hits. So maybe it's a potential way to just, I don't know if 1 is fine or not. I really don't know if like you need to run 2 or if you can get away with 1. Because if you can like get away with 1, then you only need like 1 wind rhythm. Obviously, as like a temporary measure, and then I could just get away with one curse, right? And then I could just run a curse in the bar with no curse on hit. So basically, all I'm trying to do is to get to a higher damage than what I had with my tier 3 mind control, but also keeping like a somewhat reasonable defense, which is like kind of the issue here, right? Because like these are, especially the ones that you are looking at in the ranking, they're all gonna be super glass cannon, because in there you just don't want to get hit, and then you just deal with a bunch of damage. And from what I've heard, if you're like scaling back and then you're putting into things that help you actually able to map, then the damage again goes back quite a bit. So yeah, that's the situation. I'm basically torn between the two. I don't really know. Maybe the flame focus is something that I could be thinking about, because at least the gear that I've seen on the gemma trees, it's not that bad actually, like price wise. But I don't really know. Like the obviously other option is the firebird stuff. I think perpetual motion is pretty expensive. Yeah. Obviously this one's Firebird and this one needs the base, which is, I guess it's not too bad. It's not too bad at all, actually. Huh, that's interesting. I thought that it would be bad because last time I checked, it was a lot harder. But maybe Firebird then is also an option. But as you can see, it's I don't know. It's hard to find at this point the reasonable gear, right? Because what you're seeing is what's at the top, and what is at the top is gonna be tier zeros all the way through. So then from there, it's hard to know what you can do and cannot do on a lower budget. So yeah, that's what's been happening in Torchlight Infinite. I don't really know. I don't really know what is the way. Nothing really clicked yet. I didn't see any, resource or any video or any information that would really make me think, yes, this is the one. But I will keep looking. I will figure out something. There's no way that there is no way that there is nothing that can actually, get me to farm Profound at least comfortably and get like a reasonable DPS. I don't really care about the Supreme Showdown, to be honest. I've kind of let it go because if I don't have fun, there's no point anyway. It's just a portal. Not like you even look at your portal. You just click on it, so you can get in the map and go out the map. Anyways, that's it. I'm still searching. I'm still looking. Hopefully, I can figure it out before the season ends. But if not, oh well. All right, that's it. Bye bye.